not here. Hi, I'm Fultz, short for Mr. Fultz, and I'm on this game show so I can earn money for my early retirement, so I can retire relaxed, happy, and wealthy.
Hi, my name is Dawn, short for Wayne. I'm on this game show after I filmed How the West Was Won. I'm here for the vacation.
Now that we know our contestants, let's talk about the game show. This game show has 10 trivia questions with 4 multiple choice answers for each one. If the contestant has an answer, he or she must press the button presented in front of them. If they answer the question correctly, they will get a point. Whoever has the most points at the end of tonight will receive a full expense paid trip to the modern-day Swahilian states. Question 1. Where would the Swahili civilization be located on modern-day maps?
I'm sure the answer is D.
Sorry, Mr. Fultz. The correct answer is C, the western edge of the Indian Ocean.
The Swahilian civilization was located on the southeast coast of Africa, Comoros, and northwest coast of Madagascar. This littoral area encompasses modern-day Tanzania, Kenya, and Mozambique.
That means no points for anyone. Alright, moving on to question 2. In the Swahili civilization, how was the government run?
I'm sure the answer is A.
That is correct. The answer is A.
The government of Swahili was organized as independent city-states, centered upon a few key cities. They were ruled by a sultan, meaning that they were run by an authority. The sultan was often assisted by councils and judges. The government was often influenced by oligarchies or wealthy merchant families.
Alright, moving on to question 3. What religions were practiced in the Swahili civilization? B! That's correct. The answer is B.
The people of the Swahilian civilization practiced many orthodox, Islams, and traditional beliefs. Many of them were Sunni Muslims. African traditions, Mila, were blended into Islam beliefs, Dini. Civilians prayed 5 times per day and built beautiful mosques, such as the Great Mosque of Kilwa.
Alright, on to question 4. Which choice best describes the Swahili civilization's economy?
Oh, I know this one. It's B.
That's correct. The answer is B.
The ancient Swahilian civilization relied greatly on trade from other countries. Due to its easily accessible Swahilian coast, Swahili acted like a middleman and a crucial trade center between Africa and the other countries of the Indian Ocean. Much of the cultural influence of other countries trickled into the Swahilian civilization. The Swahilian civilization would trade their ivory, gold, timber, resins, and slaves for things like textiles, porcelain, jewelry, and spices from areas in the Middle East and Asia.
On to our question 5. This marks the halfway point between our questions. Which vegetable group makes up most of the crops in ancient Swahili?
Is it B?
That's correct. The answer is B.
Let's go!
Sorghum, rice, and grains are staple crops in the Swahilian civilization. Asian crops like beans and rice were slowly getting integrated into African culture. Fishing and shellfish were a main source of protein. Bananas and coconut are also common staple plants.
Question 6. Swahili and Mijikenda oral traditions share a common
I know this one. A.
That is correct. The answer is A.
Singwaya is the legendary land described by oral origins. It is told in many tribes, including Swahili, Mijikenda, and Pokomo tribes. Traditions known collectively as the Shongwaya myth describe a series of migrations of Bantu people dating to the 12th to 17th century from a region to the north of the Tana River.
Alright, question 7. What were the roles of men and women in ancient Swahili?
Is it D?
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. The answer is A.
Women were mostly expected to look after the house, raise the children, gather crops, and engage in merchant trade. Despite male authority due to Islamic beliefs, women held certain power in some regions. Women also engaged a lot in the culture, religious, and artistic aspects of the Swahilian civilization. Men, however, were the main breadwinners. Men were the public figures of the family. They held high powers in the government and were the main administrators of trade.
Alright, question 8. Where did the Swahili language mainly originate from?
D.
That is correct. The answer is C.
The Swahili language originates from Bantu, a language spoken along the East African coast. Lots of the language is also influenced by parts of Arabic, Persian, and Portuguese.
On to question 9. What are some celebrations or customs associated with the Swahili civilization?
B.
That is correct. The answer is B.
Because the Swahilian people were Muslim, they participated in many Islamic holidays, such as Ramadan, a holy month of fasting, Eid al-Fitr, a celebration at the end of Ramadan, and the Eid al-Adha, the festival of sacrifice. The Swahili people also had their own local holidays, such as the Maulidi, celebration of Prophet Muhammad's birth, and the Mwakonga, a harvest feast.
Last but not least, question 10. What was the relationship between the tribes of the Swahili civilization and other African states?
D.
Ms. Princeton, that is correct. The answer is C.
The relationship between the Great Swahilian civilization and neighboring tribes was very complex. The city-state of Kilwa developed a relationship with the Great Zimbabwe, growing wealthy by monopolizing this trade in gold. However, the Swahilian civilization's relationship with other tribes during the slave trade became very tense.
That means the winner of tonight's game show is, drumroll please,
It's a drum roll.